Hello guys, it's been long since I made a YouTube video, I think around 6 months. So I'm back again after a long gap. So let us make this video interesting. So if you can see here, there's a huge pile of algae in this aquarium. This is nothing but Filamentous algae or the hair algae, which is commonly called in the aquarium hobby. So this video is going to be about this algae, how they appear in your tank, or why they appear in your tank, and once they appear, what should you do to get rid of them, and after that, what should you do to prevent them from coming back again. So with that clear, let us begin the video. I forgot to mention one thing. If you can see this algae here, the shrimps are really happy grazing on this algae. Even the Siamese algae eaters are also, in between trying to feed on it, or nibbling on the tips of the algae. So one thing is clear, that there are some fishes that like algae. So these are one among them, that is shrimps, Siamese algae eaters. That's why they are even named Siamese algae eaters. The next thing, how to get rid of them is, you can just use a common household toothbrush. Just stick it in there and just give it a twist and it will come off. It's that easy. But using a toothbrush is recommended if you have this algae in small patches. But in this case, you have to use your own hand. Just go in, grab it out. Grab a bunch and take it out. So during that, make sure you do not, catch any of the shrimps. So please take a note of that. Now regarding the reasons for this algae, I'll just post on the screen all the common causes of any type of algae to appear in a tank. And this algae appears because of certain reasons among that. So if you want, you can just pause the screen, take a screenshot, or just go through that. And then coming to the next one, that is the main causes of this algae coming. I'll list it out now. So now let me tell you the main reason for this type of algae, that is the hair algae or filamentous algae, to appear inside your tank. The first thing you should notice is plant stress. So you might be wondering, what is plant stress? How do you identify plant stress? So if you ask me what is plant stress, you should notice your plants. And if you see a healthy growing plant and then suddenly the leaves start to fade in their color, and then they some holes appear on the leaves, then that can be considered as stress. But on the other hand, the older leaves tend to actually shed from the mother plant. That is natural foliage which occurs. That is not stress. But if you see a new growth and that changes the color or fades away, that is plant stress. How does a plant undergo this condition? There are two main reasons, that is CO2 level. Fluctuating CO2 levels or not enough CO2 is one reason. The second one is not dosing adequate nutrients in the water column. Depending on the CO2 level and the nutrient level, the plant stays healthy or undergoes stress. So understand this at the beginning. And then I talked about foliage, that is the older leaves which tend to shed off from the mother plant and lay around in the aquarium. If you have too much of older leaves, that shedded leaves in the tank, that is also one reason for this algae to appear. And the next reason is ammonia spike. So what always ammonia spike happens. I don't think I have to sit and explain each and every reason for the ammonia spike to appear inside a tank. So these are the main reasons for this algae to actually flourish, or they are opportunistic kind of algae which actually grow when these conditions are present. So if you ask me in this tank whether this condition existed, yes. So I was actually supplying CO2, injecting CO2 into this tank, and then my cylinder, when it became empty, I couldn't refill it because the refilling stations are not nearby. The plants on this driftwood, which were some Bolbitis and Java ferns, they underwent stress, and the leaves started deteriorating, and then began the story of this algae. So it's been around, I think, 3 or 4 months I've been propagating this algae like this to actually show it to you. So yeah, and regarding the fertilizers, there is one more thing. If you add excess nutrients also, that is a cause for algae. So make sure you dose it in the adequate amount, not less, not more. So those are the main 3 reasons for this algae to appear inside any planted tanks. So I think now you know what hair algae is and how they appear inside a planted tank. Now let's move on to the cleaning part, where I will show you how to clean this algae. So that was the cleaning of the tank, or cleaning of the algae, that is the hair algae or the filamentous algae. Now I think everybody can understand that the hair algae or filamentous algae is not a nightmare, and to clean it, it's not that difficult. Just take it out and throw it. It's as simple as that. So I think everyone found this video helpful. If so, please do like the video, click the subscribe button if you haven't, and also the notifications. And then if you feel this video is informative, please share it to others in the hobby so that they can also know about how to deal with this kind of algae. So with that complete, this is your Nature Aquarist signing off. Bye bye.